Many of you, as I was explaining to a knowledge seeker in the last few days, have not even understand how you lose your life in the physical dimension. How what you call ganses in a given temperature condition connects to containment of the soul of the man. I was explaining to a knowledge seeker this week, and I said, I have to remember to explain, which you now understand. It's a very simple thing. In a physical dimension, we get the temperature. The doctors tell us you pass 42.5, 43, maybe 44. If you get to it, you will have permanent brain damage. Means your brain cells will somehow misfunction. And we see physical damage to the brain. What does this has meant to the man up to now? We didn't know it was just a brain cell. But now we know that brain cell is made from the plasma of what we call Mr. Cohen. And its connection to the other materials, whatever we might call them. But why temperature of 43, 44 creates that separation? That what we call the shock. You can go and everything else and the cell disappears or gets dissolved or whatever name you put to it. Those of you who understood the process of gas production, understanding gravitational magnetic field, the strength of it, it's very simple. You add 12 plus 1 plus 16 plus 14. What do you get? 43. Variation of up and down, 44, 45, 42, 36, 35. Then you understand why 43, 44 temperature is important in the existence of the amino acid connection with the rest of the parts of the body of the man in the brain of the man. This gives you a guideline. Our temperature of coherent existence is connected by mass, if you call it, to Mr. Cohen. 43 degrees, 43 for Mr. Cohen. This should explain a lot in a dimension where you see what we talked last week, amino acids, which land and can stand 7,000 degrees temperature or minus 700 degrees temperature. When the brain cell dies, or we get whatever we call in the body of the man, Mr. Cohen stays, but breaks link with what is the constituent of it. If we look in the center of the brain of the man, there is a magic number. What is calcium? Brick, you have the periodic table.
Hey, let me have a look at that, Mr. Keshe.
You're not very far from 42, 43, are you? With all its isotopes. And we know the center of the life of every amino acid is the calcium. When the environmental movement of the fields balances between the two, you get the separation. Then you don't have life. You go back to amino acid and the calcium in magnetic field. And if you understood this temperature gap, I can hear you back, Rick.
Yes, the calcium would be 40 in terms of its weight.
Then you understand why some animals can stand higher temperature. And they can survive. Or they can stand higher pressure and they can survive. Or they can stand lower pressure and lower temperature. Because it's a condition of atmospheric condition of this planet. If you can create a corridor that field can transfer and the two can keep their existence, then you keep life. Become independent of the pressure and temperature. In so many ways, when we look at the structure of the animals who can stand different pressure and temperatures, it means they have created a system that allows this temperature to bypass, even though the integrity of the life stays together. And the only way that life can exist and holds to in the condition of any amino acid, considering amino acid to be the basic structure of the recognition and repetition of life anywhere in the universe, it dictates to you that there has to be the body of the man, the shell of the shrimp, at minus pressures huge or temperatures high, has to be a nanomaterial which can bypass everything, that the heat does not get within. Every nanomaterial does not need to be a shell. It can be layer of skin. And a layer of skin comes from the interaction of the 3 different strengths of amino acid in respect to the fields of their environment. This is important.